Money, it's a topic that fascinates and frustrates us all. We all want more of it, but how many of us really understand how it works? That's where financial education comes in. It's the key that unlocks the door to wealth and freedom, and it's something our schools often fail to teach us. I've spent years studying successful people, and I've noticed one thing they all have in common: they understand money. They know how to make it work for them. This knowledge isn't just for the rich, it's for everyone. It's a skill we can all learn, and it's a skill that can change our lives. That's why Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki is so important. It's not just a book, it challenges everything we think we know about money. It shows us a new way of thinking. Are you ready to change the way you think about money? Let's dive in. Robert Kiyosaki isn't your typical financial guru. He didn't start out rich, he didn't inherit a fortune. Instead, he learned about money from two very different sources: his biological father, whom he calls his poor dad, and his best friend's father, his rich dad. Poor Dad was highly educated. He had a PhD and a good job. He believed in the traditional path to success: study hard, get good grades, find a secure job, work your way up the ladder, save for retirement. It's a path many of us are familiar with. Rich Dad had a different perspective. He didn't finish high school, but he understood how money really works. He taught Kiyosaki to think differently about money, to see opportunities where others saw obstacles, to make money work for him instead of working for money. Which approach do you think leads to greater success? Poor Dad's lessons were familiar to most of us. Get a good education, find a stable job, work hard, save money, buy a house. These are the lessons many of us grow up with. They seem sensible, safe, but do they lead to wealth? Rich Dad had different lessons. He taught Kiyosaki to think like an entrepreneur, to see money as a tool, not a goal, to focus on increasing his financial intelligence. These lessons were eye-opening for Kiyosaki. One of Rich Dad's key lessons was about income. Poor Dad focused on earned income, money from a job. Rich Dad taught Kiyosaki about passive income, money that keeps coming in even when you're not working. This was a game changer. Another crucial lesson was about risk. Poor Dad saw risk as something to avoid. Rich Dad saw it as something to manage. Now let's talk about one of the most important concepts in Rich Dad, Poor Dad. The difference between assets and liabilities. This might sound boring, but trust me, it's the key to financial freedom, and Kiyosaki explains it in a way that's easy to understand. Most people think they know what assets and liabilities are, but Kiyosaki's definition is different. He says an asset is anything that puts money in your pocket. A liability is anything that takes money out of your pocket. It's that simple. Let's look at an example. Many people think their house is an asset, but is it? It costs money every month: mortgage payments, property taxes, maintenance. It's taking money out of your pocket. By Kiyosaki's definition, that's a liability. So what are assets? Rental properties that generate income, stocks that pay dividends, businesses that make money even when you're not there. The rich focus on acquiring assets. Section 5, the path to financial freedom, building assets. Now that we understand assets and liabilities, let's talk about how to use this knowledge. The path to financial freedom is clear. Build assets, reduce liabilities. It sounds simple, but it requires a complete shift in how we think about money. Most people work for money. They get a job, they earn a paycheck, and they spend that paycheck on liabilities. A bigger house, a nicer car, the latest gadgets. They might save a little for retirement, but they're not building wealth. They're trapped in the rat race. The rich, on the other hand, make money work for them. They use their income to buy or create assets. These assets generate more income. They use that income to buy more assets. It's a cycle that builds wealth over time. This is how the rich get richer. But here's the exciting part. You don't have to be rich to start this process. You can start small. Invest in a dividend-paying stock. The key is to start. Section 6. Shifting your money mindset. Now, let's talk about mindset, because all the financial knowledge in the world won't help if you don't have the right mindset. This is where Kiyosaki really shines. He doesn't just teach financial concepts. He challenges our entire way of thinking about money. Most of us have a scarcity mindset when it comes to money. We think there's never enough. We focus on saving and cutting back. We see money as a finite resource. But the rich have an abundance mindset. They see opportunities everywhere. They focus on expanding and creating. Another key mindset shift is about education. Poor Dad believed education ended with school. Rich Dad knew that real education never stops. He encouraged Kiyosaki to always be learning, to seek out new knowledge. This continuous learning is crucial for financial success. Section 7, putting Kiyosaki's principles into practice. So how do we apply these principles in real life? It's one thing to understand the concepts, it's another to put them into practice. But don't worry, Kiyosaki provides practical steps we can all take. Let's explore some of them. First, start thinking like an investor, not a consumer. Before you buy something, ask yourself, is this an asset or a liability? Will it put money in my pocket or take money out? This simple question can transform your financial decisions. It can help you avoid the trap of acquiring liabilities. Next, focus on increasing your financial intelligence. Read books about money. Take courses on investing. Learn about different asset classes. The more you know, the more opportunities you'll see, and the better decisions you'll make. Remember, financial education is an investment in yourself. Finally, start small, but start now. The key is to start building assets, no matter how small. Section 8, breaking free from the rat race. The rat race, it's a term we've all heard. But what does it really mean? In Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Kiyosaki describes it vividly. It's the cycle of working, paying bills, and having little left over. It's living paycheck to paycheck. It's being trapped by your financial obligations. Most people are stuck in the rat race. They work hard, they get raises, but their expenses always seem to rise to meet their income. They're running faster and faster, but not getting anywhere. It's exhausting, it's frustrating, and it's not the path to wealth. So how do we break free? Kiyosaki's answer is clear. Build assets, create passive income streams, reduce your reliance on your job for income. It's not about working harder, it's about working smarter. It's about making your money work for you. The goal is financial freedom. That's when your passive income exceeds your expenses, when you can choose to work or not, when money is no longer a constant worry. Section 9, the importance of continuous learning. One of the most powerful messages in Rich Dad, Poor Dad is about learning. Kiyosaki emphasizes that our education doesn't end when we leave school. In fact, that's when our real financial education begins. The world of money is always changing. We need to keep learning to keep up. This continuous learning takes many forms. It's reading books about money and investing. It's attending seminars and workshops. It's seeking out mentors who have achieved what you want to achieve. It's learning from your successes and your failures. Every experience is a chance to learn and grow. But it's not just about accumulating knowledge. It's about applying what you learn. Kiyosaki encourages us to take action, to try new things, to step out of our comfort zones. This practical application is where real learning happens. The more you learn, the more opportunities you'll see. This knowledge is power. Section 10, your financial future starts now. We've covered a lot of ground in this summary of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. We've learned about assets and liabilities. We've explored the mindset of the rich. We've seen the importance of financial education. But now comes the most important part, taking action. Your financial future is in your hands. It's not determined by your past. It's not limited by your current situation. It's shaped by the decisions you make today, right now, in this moment. You have the power to change your financial destiny, and it starts with a decision. Decide to educate yourself about money. Decide to start building assets, no matter how small. Decide to shift your mindset from scarcity to abundance. These decisions might seem small, but they have the power to transform your life. The journey to financial freedom starts now.